next guest is Gianni Kovacevic. He is the executive chairman of CopperBank. He's also the author of My Electrician Drives a Porsche.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for joining us again. I want to go over who's been naughty, who's been nice in our commodity space here. What are you liking? What is Gianni not liking?
Mike Tyson used to say that everyone has a plan until they're punched in the face. And you get a whole line of prognosticators telling us what's going to happen. And there's so many variables. And a wealthy person in New York told me 10 days ago that the market is driven by technicals and fundamentals. You can trade off of technicals, but you can't invest. You invest on fundamentals. So we're driven in a world of technicals, algorithmic trading, and things are loaded up on ETFs. But at the end of the day, we're going through a hinge of history and energy. And just like 20 years ago, when people got it wrong, they were relying on the OECD plus Japan for all their statistics and analysis. Now they look at, China and the global economy and hard landing and tariff and trade war. There is a new invisible hand for commodities. And within this hinge of history, we're going to go to about 50% of final energy as electrification from the current 19%, and that'll all happen in 30 years, and that'll be enabled with metals. Copper's the big winner. It'll be fortified with things like aluminum, the batteries, all the things, all the bumper stickers that you've heard about, and it's happening right now in real time, and copper has in fact decoupled from oil. It's pronounced. We have about 3 years since I've been talking about this. We have to keep looking at this month after month, but I still say that a really bad outcome is priced into some of this stuff. Copper warehouses, Sheffy, Comex, LME, down to 330,000 tons. If you take scrap out of it, Daniela, we're talking a demand of 20,000 tons a year. We're at 5.5 days. So something's got to give here. We'll see what happens. They got until March 2nd to figure this out. But even in a worst case, we do get back to business as usual. So where's the opportunity?
Okay, offline you were telling me it might be in helium.
I think so. This is a market.
I've never heard of this. I didn't even know
People associate helium with balloons at parties. Not the case. It's a high-tech commodity. You find it in MRIs, you find it in the high-tech industry, cooling for servers, it's in the barcodes, it's in nuclear power plants.
How many companies do you mine for helium?
It's like a natural gas well. So it happens in a few different basins under certain geological formations. There's a CAGR growth rate for helium of 7% because of this high-tech application. Yet we have a shortage. It's falling off a cliff. We haven't found a lot of new helium reserves. Right. And so it trades right now at $279 an MCF, where natural gas is $4 or $5. Huge differential.
Where do we find, which countries are known to have helium?
One of the most prolific areas is in the United States. It's on the New Mexico-Arizona border. That's where a lot of the high-grade, high-quality helium reserves have come from. And of course, we were talking with some of my friends today with Desert Mountain Energy, which is one of the few companies that's going to be drilling 3 exploration wells this year in this Holbrook Basin, which is on the Arizona-New Mexico area.
Let's get your thoughts finally on the gold and silver space. Are you, if I asked you to look on a barometer and say, from bearish to bullish, where would you place yourself here?
I'm still focused on copper. So when you look at the big copper gold mines, they give us a lot of gold output. I was here a year ago. I had just visited the projects with the Lundin group in the central part of Chile. And these are they gold mines or are they copper mines? So NGQ, which is the exploration arm of Lundin Mining, they spun out Filo. They aggressively moved forward their development plan. They put out their PFS last week. Really strong numbers. People need to look at this, which is really a free share. You got this for free. It's now trading at $2.30. 168,000 ounces of gold production, 68,000 tons of copper, 8 million ounces of silver. Now, is that a gold mine or is it a copper mine? That's a 14-year mine life. That's a pretty good outcome. So they're going to do it again. NGQ is going to spin out their Jose Maria project, which has a $2 billion NPV. Once again, is it a gold mine or is it a copper mine? I always tell my friends that love gold, focus on the copper. You get all the gold as a byproduct, and you're going to get all that benefit. You don't necessarily have to look at primary gold deposits. Harder and harder to find.
How do you filter through all the promotion in our industry?
Well, I have the 4% club. Pareto's Law, the 20-80 rule, where 20% of the people give you 80% of the benefit. But within that 20% of those guys give 80% of the benefit within that 20%. You end up with like 3 or 4% of the guys in this business And look at the value that Lukas Lundin and his stable of companies have created. And that's what Philo and NGQ are. Look at Ross Beaty and what he's done and all the companies he's sold. And now he's got his Lumina Gold.
So you pick your favorites and then just stick with them.
So much skin in the game. They lead by example. They've done it.
So you don't overcomplicate things.
Don't overcomplicate things, exactly. And you just follow these guys, follow the leader, and you hope for, of course you need markets, but it should be happy investing.
For a return.
Follow the chart.
Gianni, thank you so much. Always a pleasure catching up with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniela.
And thanks for watching. We'll have much more for you on Kitco.com.